I mixed dough for sourdough bread yesterday and placed in the fridge to slowly ferment. This is one of my sister's bread she requested to be baked. Whether I'm making my own bread or for someone, sourdough baking takes some time. Making a sourdough routine has allowed me to manage my time, and I get to fit sourdough into my lifestyle. One problem I had was how to store my sourdough starter, and I figured if I know how I want to store my sourdough starter, then I can make a routine that works for me. I feed her twice daily, in the morning and the last thing at night, with the same feeding ratio. Over time, I noticed the proofing of my starter became consistent and only getting stronger. You know how you would only do certain things because they are beyond your control. I do not get steady electricity for my fridge to maintain a cool temperature. So keeping my starter in the fridge was out of the question. So I had to leave my starter at room temperature to maintain a consistency. Because I do this daily, it is no longer a task. It is just part of my routine, and I've gotten used to it. So without even a thought, sometimes without even measurement, I can just feed my starter and just keep it back on the counter. To reduce wasting my flour, I maintain small starter feeding ratio with a total discard of 78 grams, a little over 1/3 cup. Baking Weekly quickly taught me that using a fed starter or a discard for the same recipe will not yield the same result. Sourdough discard is more active than a freshly fed starter because it has not been fed for days. So a little goes a long way in improving a dough. A standard recipe uses 15% fed starter ratio to flour to make bread, but with my discard, I use less than half of that amount for the same result. I bake more than once a week, mainly for myself, but also for my wider family. This opportunity has allowed me to bake variety with my sourdough and to bake more often.
Looking at something here right there. You don't bake it.
You just roll them. You don't like my style? Yes, yes.
There's no such thing as too much.
Okay. Yep. We're good. I also use discards to flavor my cakes. This is one of my mom's favorite cupcakes, which I actually love too. The starter makes the cake moist, and flavorful. Baking the same recipe every week makes me enjoy the process of learning, tweaking, making mistakes, like a typical case of forgetting my bagels and overproving it, but turns out to be still delicious. I made a sourdough starter to make my own bread, but I was left with a starter after making the bread. So finding the best way to keep my starter has allowed me to enjoy the process along the way.